Welcome back, everyone, to Modern Day 4. It's been a while since I've actually recorded Hearts of Iron, so bear with me, I will be a little rusty. There's a problem. As you may remember, last time we dealt with someone that called in Germany. We then capitulated that person, but Germany ended up calling in the United States. And so now the United States is calling in all these countries. Notice one of them is Turkey. And yes, I was thinking about attacking Turkey. So now we're going to be kind of forced to fight NATO in Turkey especially. So this is about to be very, very, very unpleasant. And well, yeah, you can imagine. You can imagine how happy we all are to actually do this. Oh well. So we're gonna have to get ourselves ready. Of course, we have our militias heading for the ports. Interestingly enough, Russia, Iran, all those guys still have volunteers within us because we were never able to actually switch our legions. So that's pretty good for us, I guess. Considering, I'm gonna give you. You're the guy with the militias. And I give you some paratroopers. Because with... Wait, hold on. You're there. I guess then you're better to come down here. Because, well, as it happens, now the entirety of NATO is at war with us. And if there's something that you know about NATO is that they have absolutely freaking massive air forces. So I am absolutely 100% sure that we're not going to have any air superiority upcoming, and we might as well just keep our airborne as elite infantry. Kind of sad about it, but hey, we're going to do what has to be done, and here they are. The Turks are in. Now, it seems like the Russians are wasting no time. They're charging in, and we're going to charge after them because, well, we're going to protect Syria and do whatever is necessary. Of course, we've got our troops moving up, and it's going to take a while, but thankfully our buddies were protecting our flanks while we were taking forever destroying the Kurds. So it's literally, they were literally already planning their offensives into Turkey. Looks like we're going to be able to take Kiziltepe. I'm going to mispronounce every Turkish city ever. We're going to be able to take that easily. We're going to charge for Syria. And it seems like our units are pretty much on par with the Turks. And considering that we have the Russians and the Iranians and combat experience on our side, yes, it seems like this, at least initial offensive, is going to go quite well. Now, later on, I am guessing that NATO is going to come in force. So yeah, we're going to have to be pretty careful with that, of course. Yeah, we've got our air defenses all blazing away with their rockets, but yeah, they're only going to be good for distracting the enemy. Of course, what are we focusing on? Yeah, we are repairing. Good, that is what I wanted. And I want to repair civilian factories as quickly as possible so that I can get my economy back on track. Such as it may be when I'm at war with NATO. And am I at war with everyone? Yes, I am at war with the entirety of NATO. What I just want to do is see how long I can survive before I go down fighting, because most likely, now that NATO's at war with me, they're going to start to flood Turkey with troops from basically every NATO country. Of course, now that they are at war as well, they're going to have a little bit of an easier time getting economic mobilization laws. As you can see, Germany with gigantic military spending, France with gigantic, Italy's still at small, but I'm sure that once they get political power, they're going to start to really rack up that war expenditure like these guys. Croatia has already declared state of total war. So yeah, essentially all these guys are going to start to pump out massive amounts of troops with their good industrial bases and start to overwhelm us. What I may be able to do if they don't send a lot of troops in first is I may be able to get to the Straits. And once I'm at the Straits, I'm going to be able to hold, maybe, depending on how much NATO uses their amphibious landing capabilities to attack us. So we're gonna attack Diyarbakir. And that's pretty much the biggest city in Turkish Kurdistan, so we should be able to take it for our own. Of course, they seem to be running away from Siverek as well, thanks to the action of these Iranian special forces. So that's well done on our allies. Let's try to attack Gaziantep, and with the support of the Ruskies, it's going to be fairly easy to do that. So in fact, this is becoming basically the Third World War, even though Russia and Iran and you know, the CSTO, all of that aren't directly, actually there isn't the CSTO in this one, there's the Eurasian Union. Even though they aren't directly involved, they've, you know, they're sending Lend-Lease, they're sending troops, so it's basically like they're allies. And let's take Diyarbakir. Yep, militias from Al-Shabaab. No, that's not Al-Shabaab, that's Hezbollah. Militias from Hezbollah getting in there. And once the Russian motor brigades are there, of course, the Turkish units have absolutely no chance. Let's see if we can take Osmania. With the support of the Hezbollah troops, we cannot. Of course, everyone that is in any way sympathetic to us is going to send us some Lend-Lease, which is pretty good. We cannot take Osmania, but we can busy them while our troops... Actually, no, we cannot busy them, even. Yeah, our troops can try to attack Tilis, but it is a mountainous province with some pretty nasty problems. And, oh, boy. I just heard a... Oh, that's naval landings. Oh, wow, that's an awesome, awesome model for the cargo ships. Damn. So it looks like they're coming in with Specjalny Sili Polk. That would be a Special Forces regiment, so Bulgaria. And a Mechanizirana Brigada, so a mechanized brigade. Now that's just a few Bulgarian troops trying to land. It did not work, thankfully. So once our troops take Gaziantep, which should be relatively soon. Actually, the Baf Brigade is about to take Şanlıurfa. I'm guessing that that S is pronounced sh. I can stop them, or, well, is there any need? When are we going to get there? 4 days. Okay. So we're going to get there in 4 days, and they're going to get there in 8 days, so there's no need to attack them. What we can do, though, what we can do is attack here. They're gonna win. Rip. That's not what I would have liked to see. And actually, Sirte? That's in Libya, you know. Sirte is gonna hold, unfortunately. I'd thought that they were gonna be able to capture that. The Turkish army is no pushover. What can we do with our polypower at this point? I don't even know. Like, we're just not in a spot to use it in any meaningful way, because these wouldn't be all that useful. Although, extensive police and intelligence apparatus isn't that expensive. In fact, this police state is not that effective, or not that expensive on the taxes, just 3%, and it's going to give us a lot of decryption and encryption and planning speed. So yes, let's become a police state. That is, I guess, a very good idea. They're sending their Marines in, that's fine. Yeah, that's because, I mean, Turkey is no pushover because their units are actually, like, good. They use pretty big divisions. Hearts of Iron 4 doesn't really, in any way, model the way modern militaries switch to brigades. But really, the reason that they switch to brigades is that... Oh. Is that a Brazilian civil war? How the heck? Apparently the PT, so the Partido Trabajadores, I think that's how you pronounce it, so the Workers' Party, has declared a rebellion. And Lula, who, if I know correctly, is the old leader of this party. Not sure if he ever became president of Brazil. I think this guy is like, he's involved in a lot of scandals in Brazil, so yeah, I guess he's trying to make a run for it, And wow, actually he's pretty equal in strength with Temer, which would be the sort of right winger. Yeah, but of course he's pretty much like, yeah, his controlled territory is very, very much split off, and well, the factories are actually pretty much almost even. Damn, Brazil has a lot of factories. Holy hell, massive economy. 60, 80 civilians and 20 militaries. So it's going well for Brazil, or, well, I mean, it isn't, but yeah. Of course, their focus tree doesn't really do too much. Although some of these have effects, most of them they don't. And actually they went with, damn, they went with nationalism. Wait, how is this possible? They both took the emerging stuff and the nationalist path. Looks like there was a bit of a miscalculation in the Brazilian focus tree. Anyway, yeah, they're not having the easiest of times. Let's just leave them at their problems. Come on, let's get into Gaziantep. Their units are doing quite well, partially because of their air superiority. Their crushing air superiority, which is pretty much leaving us no choice. How many military factories do you have, Turkey? 12. Which is, well, more than we do, but it's honestly not, like, the biggest. Alright. Yeah, what we really need is for some aircraft. Because that's really going to be our biggest issue. Because aircraft are pretty strong, of course. And so, well, actually we have 120 self-propelled AA that we're not using. So I guess some divisions can get some. Alright, 1 division, 4 divisions, 3 divisions, 2 divisions. Damn, we've got some pretty spread out things, of course. I don't think we can equip this. Alright, I don't even want to. Or, well, I mean, I could do this. Self-propelled a defense battery, A6. Well, I could do that. I feel like that would be a very, very good idea. Although, at some point, that self-propelled AA is going to run out. Yeah. Already at 20, just 24. So probably we should switch around some kind of production to that. But, I mean, it's not like we have any production to switch to that, so yeah, that's a bit of an issue. That is, of course, going to reduce the enemy air superiority once actual units that are equipped with that enter the fight, and these are not. These are the BAF commandos and all of that, which are the commando brigades, and they just don't have that, but hey. Yeah, trying to avoid enemy air superiority seems like a good idea. And the other big problem is the fact that our border with Turkey is, of course, along some pretty nasty mountain ranges. So it's really not going to be easy for us to push into the enemy territory. Any more than we've already done, of course. And it seems like the allied units are just kind of killing each other. And that's not good for me, because I want my allies to not die. Oh, damn. Actually retaken Gaziantep somehow. And Trump wants to decertify the Iranian nuclear deal. I mean, Trump declared war on me, so he's a dick. The worst deal ever. God damn it, Trump. Why did you do that? Apparently we still have interceptions going on. How long is the range of these guys? Apparently long. But we do not even have, like, the capacity to replenish this. Although, wait, what? Oh, this is actually something I didn't even know existed. That's pretty good, though. All right, let's D that. But I want to... Wait, what? One air wing can't be transferred between rocket sites. But then how did I pull it over to Amman? Looks like it was a bug that allowed me to put, you know, anti-air missiles in an airbase. Anyway. Yeah, I've split off the missiles. Half of them in Syria, half of them in Anatolia. Just trying to, at least in some way, reduce the enemy overwhelming air superiority, which is really destroying us, because right now along the front lines we're not really having like a lot of combats. We're just having one combat at a time, which is the worst when the enemy has air superiority, because that allows their air force to concentrate on just one target rather than a lot of different combats, you know, dissipating their forces and all of that. Actually, I've just noticed that this is the only airport that they have. Somehow. So Elazig should now be our primary target. Problem is there's only militias and, well, one special forces unit, although these are infantry. So it's not like they're as strong as some of the other units that are around. But yeah, in defense, they're going to do well. And Elazig is a mountainous province, so not fun. This is not good. This is very not good, in fact. Alright, how's the economy? Okay, looks like we've got everything set up. Everything got repaired, and now our factories are building. And we have Turkish Kurdistan under our control, which brought us 4 more factories, 4 more cities. So that's pretty okay. Guess we can build that up. I'm going to first build a lot of civilians so that I can actually build new factories and get resources, as that is pretty important. It's likely that this will just stay a stalemate for a long, long time, to be completely honest. And looks like my free corvettes decided to go out, which yeah, as you can imagine, that's not a good idea. Get out. So they encountered 229 NATO ships, including, well, yeah, you can see how many aircraft carriers. Well, I mean, some of these are actually LPDs, so helicopter ships or landing assault. But yeah, there's actually a lot of it, like LHAs, LPDs. But they have 4 nuclear carriers, which somehow do not have any aircraft. Might just not be, you know, that might just not be shown. They have 4 nuclear CVs, and they have, you know, all of that. Yeah, that is a lot of enemy ships. Run away, idiot. I guess I can assign you there. Oh, come on, really? You're not going to be able to take Gaziantep? And actually, yeah. It's mostly because it's actually the Russians doing the damage rather than our own troops somehow, because the terrain is minus 112% damage. Although somehow for the Russians that is not as bad. Why though? I don't really understand that. Like, how come the Russians don't have that much of a problem with that? I just don't really understand. You know, it might be worth it to like think about getting a mountain infantry division, if that is at all possible. Infantry battalions, no. I'm guessing that is the role of special operations forces. Although it doesn't really seem like it. Okay, light infantry, militia. What about airborne infantry? Doesn't seem like there's really any, yeah, you know, any special things about them. Yeah, it's really the special forces that help you out in the mountains. So I'm not sure how the Russians are so effective at that. Also, I'm not sure how... Oh yeah, right. It's the plains. It's the plains. Yeah, look at that organization damage. Hey, at least we're getting new APCs and all of that. It's very weird, though, that we can't hold Gaziantep, even though it's a, you know, mountainous province. So where you'd think we'd have a decent time. Why are you still around? Go back to port, you idiot. Why were you not in port? I don't understand. There's really no point in that happening, and ooh. Yeah, the Romanian Marines are trying to break through, but that did not work. You know, it kind of looks like the Air Force gave up on Syria itself, which is pretty hilarious. So I may try to just, like, get air superiority here. Oh, that's actually a strike fighter. So this guy would be pretty decent at attacking enemy units, right? Ground attack 24. Right. So he's gonna go ahead and get some close air support action going. Although, I mean... like, you can imagine how effective that could be. I'm guessing that they have their own anti-air, so... it's not like it's gonna do any good for us. But hey, I might as well try. Alright, how's the Syria air zone? Okay, so it's basically Syria plus Antakya. You know, Hatay. So for now, that is not going to be really giving us any bonuses or anything, because we're fighting outside of Syria. But hey. Yeah, this is really weird, though. Like, my guys get there, and they're already very, very low on organization. And then they lose. They lose a lot quicker than I would think should happen. Because look at these values. Like, they're not really... it's our defense. Our defense is... yeah, our defense is way too low. Well, that is because I'm looking at these special forces units all the time. So why are there no, like, actual mainline units here? I have no idea. What about your defense? 67. Should be pretty high. Not sure why that is really not coming into play. And we're losing planes. Rip. Of course, there's no way we can contest the air superiority of NATO in Turkey itself. And, well, this time we can't even take the province itself. Can't say I'm too happy about that. Yeah, look at this. For some reason, their terrain bonus is minus 74%, whereas ours is minus 117. Why exactly would that be? I think it might have something to do with land doctrines. No. Of course it doesn't. I have no idea, honestly. I really do not know. I really do not know why my units get that modifier and others don't. Attack minus 43%. Let's check out the Syrian army division. Mountain attack minus 60%. So it shouldn't be minus 100%. What's causing that? I mean, this guy's even got Mountaineer. So he's supposed to give them even a bonus on that. I think it's just like somehow the base, yeah, the base value of mountains is what's causing that. But if that was the case, then why are their units able to just so easily defeat me? I really don't understand that, honestly. Oh well. Guess we're just gonna have to give that place up. Unless we can try to get some of our units in the fight like this, but they're not gonna do anything, so might as well just not do it. Now, one thing that we could do is build land forts. There's actually 5 land forts in this province already, that being North Aleppo, Al-Bab. Wait, no. What? Right, it's like this tiny strip, so Jarabulis. That's got 5 land forts already. Let's repair them, because we might as well. Deir ez-Zor, really. Yeah, the land forts in Deir ez-Zor need repair, but doesn't matter. Let's repair those land forts. Although first, I guess we get the factories. Yeah, factories are just a little bit superior to that, but hey. As long as we have Diyarbakir, we have Turkish Kurdistan, so at least we have bloodied them a little tiny bit. A little tiny bit. And thankfully, the balance of strength on the front line is even enough that the rest of NATO doesn't seem to want to participate in this, except, you know, sending the naval invasions. But yeah, the problem is there's just no way we're gonna be able to punch through, because it seems like our troops are just not, you know, not up to the task. And of course, Turkey's just a little bit too strong, so we're not really gonna be able to build up and defeat them. We can't do a naval invasion because obvious reasons. They one day might be able to push in and win. Might, keyword. We are never going to be able to get enough air superiority to do some paratrooping. Or, I mean, well, it depends. Depends on how bad the AI is at using air forces. And, well, they are pretty bad, but I'm not sure that they're bad enough. And it's not like I can try to declare war on anyone else. One, because, well, that would literally let Turkey walk into my country. 2, because I couldn't switch from emerging, because I have all the modifiers supporting Assad from the Syrian civil war. I mean, I could have declared war on Lebanon, but yeah. Yeah, like, that's not really the biggest thing I'm looking after. And they have, of course, a massive army stacked in one little province, so it would be a bit of a slugfest. Israel wouldn't make any sense to declare war on them because, I mean, I can't defeat them. And so, yeah, I'm really thinking to just kind of end the whole series here. Because I don't think that anything is going to change from this situation anytime soon. I mean, we're just gonna say that we lost, and yeah, they're actually starting to send in their units. I mean, the United States starting to send in some Marines and all that. Americans, you know. As we all know, the Americans, they're the problem. And yeah, it's not like there's any really weak points in this line that I can exploit. The ways I could do that would be to paratroop behind them, cause massive confusion, get some key victory points secured, maybe get their capital, and disrupt their supplies, disrupt all of their, you know, airfields, all of that, ports, infrastructure. But I can't get air superiority because I'm facing NATO. So that's really not going to happen. And, you know, how would my airborne be? Like, would it be effective in any kind of way? Well, it's kind of spread out all over, so can't know all of that. Would you win? Yeah, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Look at that, them. Entrenched. Well, they're actually entrenched too now. That makes sense. Huh, country plus 20%. So it's not just all of that. Looks like the Turks have some kind of modifier for their army. Although it doesn't really seem like it. Might be one of these modifiers. Yeah, it might be one of these things. Oh yeah, it's mandatory service. Yeah, we're using an Italian vehicle. Iveco is an Italian company. And yeah, of course, we're gonna like get a random lend-lease from basically all over, so I mean, things are not gonna really degenerate anytime soon. But once the Turks build up, and once NATO builds up, and somehow breaks through, there's no way I'm gonna win. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it quits right now. I'm gonna say I lost because I didn't win. But yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah, my objective to take down Iraq and form, you know, the greater Syria didn't really work out because of the way, you know, Bashar is just a little bit too strong. So, oh well, it could have gone worse. It could have definitely gone worse. I'm pretty happy. We won the Civil War. We took down Jordan. We took down the Kurds, but then eventually that caused the Germans to get involved, and the Germans called in NATO. And so, of course, now we're going to lose to NATO unless, you know, literal World War III starts to erupt and Russia comes in and distracts NATO for us. But yeah, I'm going to call it quits right now and say that's about it. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you soon. And yeah, if you have any ideas for which country and which objective should I pursue. Wait, how's this Civil War going? It looks like it's just very, very slow going. Yeah, because what I like to do every campaign, as you may, you know, I've noticed, is I try to pick not only the country, but what objective I'm going to go after with it so that I know when to stop. Because, you know, these Paradox games, sandboxes, they can be pretty, yeah, you can never really know when you've quote-unquote won. But yeah, do tell me in the comments below what you think. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Have a nice day.